The wealthy don't need to check a bank balance. They feel energy, and broke energy is loud. Many habits silently signal scarcity, keeping wealth out of reach even when effort seems high. These patterns often go unnoticed, yet they create a cycle that prevents financial growth. It's not just about earning more, it's about the mindset and actions that shape financial outcomes. Here are 17 signs of signaling scarcity without realizing it, and they're more common than expected. Understanding these can be the first step toward breaking free from a scarcity mindset. Thinking income equals wealth is a common mistake that traps many in a cycle of financial stagnation. A raise often leads to an upgraded lifestyle. New clothes, a better car, dining out more frequently, while keeping less each time. Wealth isn't a salary, it's net worth, the difference between assets and liabilities. The rich buy assets like real estate, stocks, or businesses that grow over time, while spending more with each increase creates treadmill wealth. It feels like progress, but it's just running in place, never building something lasting. For example, someone earning $60,000 a year might spend it all on lifestyle upgrades, leaving nothing for investments, while another person at the same income level saves $10,000 annually to invest in a rental property. Over a decade, the second person builds wealth, while the first remains stagnant. Prioritizing short-term gratification over long-term growth sends a scarcity signal that keeps wealth at a distance. Spending more time scrolling than studying is another trap that reinforces broke energy. Hours on TikTok watching trends, viral dances, or celebrity drama, but barely minutes on wealth-building activities like reading financial books or learning about investments means mastering entertainment, not income. The algorithm knows these patterns. It feeds content that screams broke energy, like ads for fast fashion or get-rich-quick schemes. Consuming more than creating leads to losing ground, as time that could be spent learning a new skill or starting a side hustle is wasted. A feed isn't just a distraction. It fuels failure by trapping focus in a loop of instant gratification. For instance, dedicating just 30 minutes a day to learning about compound interest or budgeting could lead to better financial decisions over time. Breaking that cycle to focus on what moves the needle financially, such as understanding how to save for a down payment, is crucial, or else scarcity is being signaled. Never questioning the system keeps many stuck in a financial rut. Believing taxes are a fixed burden, debt is always bad, or wealth is for others ignores the truth. The rules of money are public and can be learned. The rich understand the system, bend it legally to their advantage, and play differently. Using tax deductions, leveraging good debt to buy assets, or networking with mentors who share insider knowledge. Obedience without awareness is poverty in disguise. Without curiosity about the rules governing finances, opportunities slip away. For example, someone might overpay on taxes because they don't know about deductions for home office expenses, while another person in the same situation saves thousands by researching tax laws. Not questioning why financial struggles persist or learning how to work smarter within the system signals scarcity, as it shows a lack of proactive engagement with the tools available. Bragging about being busy is a misleading habit that often masks a lack of progress. Wealthy people don't chase busyness. They chase leverage, making time and money work harder through systems, investments, or hiring help. Working long hours but building nothing lasting still leaves someone. Busyness often shows poor delegation or prioritization, such as spending hours on low-value tasks instead of focusing on high-impact activities like negotiating a better salary or starting a business. Glamorizing exhaustion instead of rethinking the hustle signals scarcity, especially when effort lacks results. Imagine two people working 60-hour weeks. One spends that time on repetitive tasks with no growth, while the other uses 10 of those hours to build a side hustle that eventually replaces their income. The difference lies in leverage, not hours worked, and failing to seek that leverage sends a broke energy signal. Blaming everything except personal choices is another sign that keeps wealth out of reach. The market, the economy, a boss, there's always an excuse for why success hasn't happened. The rich audit their own actions, asking what can be improved or adjusted. Accountability opens the door to wealth, while victimhood traps someone in poverty's cage. If it's always someone else's fault, the future won't change. For instance, someone might blame a low salary for their financial struggles, but never consider upskilling to qualify for a better paying role. Taking control means looking at what can be done differently, whether it's cutting unnecessary expenses or seeking new opportunities. Pointing fingers instead of taking responsibility sends a loud scarcity signal that blocks growth. Treating money emotionally leads to poor decisions that reinforce broke energy. After a hard week, buying a treat like a new gadget or fancy dinner feels deserved. But this is just retail therapy acting as a dopamine dealer. The high fades fast, leaving less in the bank. The rich buy freedom, investing in things that create passive income or long-term security, while emotional spending buys fleeting feelings. Emotions are terrible financial advisors, and a wallet isn't a therapist. Using money to cope with stress or sadness signals scarcity. Instead, setting a budget and allocating a small portion for enjoyment, while saving the rest for investments, can break this cycle. Emotional spending often leads to a pattern of living paycheck to paycheck, which screams broke energy. You delay uncomfortable conversations. Avoiding raises or contract negotiations due to fear of conflict incurs significant costs. Silence is expensive. The rich negotiate early, often and assertively, recognizing their value. Allowing discomfort to stall progress signals scarcity, particularly when these discussions could boost finances. For example, hesitating to request a $5,000 raise, fearing rejection, might cost $50,000 over 10 years if approved. Developing negotiation skills and preparing for these talks transforms silence into opportunity, but avoidance sends a scarcity signal. You wait for perfect conditions. Saying one day as if it's a plan excuses inaction. Fear of failure overshadows the drive to succeed, leaving stagnation while the rich act amid uncertainty. Waiting keeps someone broke, as imperfect action surpasses perfect delay. Postponing goals until ideal conditions, like delaying investments for a perfect market, signals scarcity. The stock market doesn't require perfection. Investing $50 monthly in a low-cost index fund grows substantially over time. Taking small steps despite uncertainty shifts energy from scarcity to abundance. You fear looking cheap. Buying for perception while the rich prioritize utility leads to overdrawing accounts to avoid appearing broke. Millionaires wear $20 tees confidently, but chasing a rich image creates financial strain. Favoring appearances over lasting value, like saving for a home instead of a luxury watch, sends a scarcity signal. Opting for practical choices, such as a reliable used car over a new model with high payments, frees funds for wealth-building investments. Constantly saying, "that's already known," dismisses growth and keeps broke energy alive. Broke energy resists repetition, but rich minds master the basics through it. Budgeting, saving, investing. Knowing something isn't the achievement, doing it is. If knowledge doesn't lead to action, it's not truly learned. Ignorance hides behind arrogance, signaling scarcity by refusing to grow through the fundamentals. For instance, understanding the concept of compound interest, but never applying it by investing early means missing out on years of growth. Revisiting and acting on the basics consistently can transform financial habits, but dismissing them as already known keeps scarcity in control. Recognizing these signs is the first step to breaking free from broke energy. Shifting your habits, questioning the patterns, and taking small, consistent actions, even if they're imperfect, starts changing your financial direction. Real wealth is built quietly through daily decisions. Saving a portion of each paycheck, learning one new money skill at a time, and choosing long-term growth over instant comfort. If you're ready to keep building that momentum, subscribe for more real-world strategies, mindset shifts, and quiet moves that lead to lasting wealth.